Hi, welcome to Unit 1 intro video. This video is designed to support you in writing your KWL, which you'll be writing, filling in what you know and want to know about this unit. So first you'll watch this video, and then afterward you'll fill out the K and the W columns of your KWLQ. Okay, so let's get started. This first unit is called Atoms and Nuclear Chemistry. So let's talk about what the relationship between chemistry and atoms are. You may already know this, but let's just sort of clarify it. Now we know that chemistry is the study of matter, and matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. And what you probably already know, or at least have heard it before, is that all matter is made of atoms, and atoms are therefore known as the building blocks of matter. And so because all matter is made up of atoms, you can never trust an atom because they make up everything. Okay, so as I said, we are starting with atoms, and it sort of makes sense because if chemistry is the study of matter and all matter is made up of atoms, well, we kind of need to know what the foundation of this field of science is all about. So what exactly are we going to learn in this unit of atoms and nuclear chemistry? Well, we're going to learn about the history of chemistry, like how the field of chemistry started, and the evolution of the atomic model. We're also going to learn about the composition and structure of atoms. So remember, composition would be what the atoms are made of, and the structure describes how what the atoms are made of are arranged. So the arrangement of the atoms components. We're also going to learn how to produce and interpret different representations of atoms. And specifically, these are nuclear symbols we'll be focusing on. And then finally, we're going to apply our understanding of atoms to balance and predict the outcomes of nuclear reactions. So these are the things that we're going to learn. And we're going to use what we've learned, this information, to answer this essential question: is alchemy a real science? Okay, so that is what we'll be covering here. Now it's time to talk about this KWLQ that you're going to be filling out. So your KWLQ document is in Schoology, and in case you don't know, KWLQ stands for Know, Want to Know, Learn, and Question. So before you start this unit, the first thing you want to do is sort of document your pre-knowledge. What do you already know about the topics that you've seen here? And you would fill that in the Know column. And then you may start having certain questions about it, or maybe wondering certain things. You want to put that under the want. What do you want to know? So your job is to fill out the know and the want columns of your KWL. Later, after we covered the lesson and finished the unit, or while we're finishing the unit, you'll fill out what you've learned. And sometimes, even after you've learned something, you may still have questions. So there's a section, that's what that Q is at the end, for certain questions, or if you have any further thoughts or anything else that you're wondering about, you can put that here in the question section. So to help you fill out the K and W, what do you know and want to know, what you could think about are the things that you're actually going to be learning in this unit, which is what we talked about on the previous slide. So you can think about that to help you think about things you know about this topic or want to know. And you can also use the essential question. So if there's something you know or want to know about that essential question, you can add that. The other thing you can think about are some of the vocab words that we are going to be covering here. And here's the list of them. So if you want, you can pause the video now and sort of read through them yourself. And once again, you can use either, if you know what a term is, you can use that to fill out the know, or if you want to know what a term is or how that term is related to this unit, you can fill that in the want to know. Okay, so if you need more time to read through the vocab words, please do. I just want to now go over the expectations for this KWL. So what are the expectations? First of all, you need to include a total of 8 statements. You can do more, but you can't do less. And that is to be distributed between the K and the W columns. Now, you could technically put all 8 in the know And you could technically put all 8 in the want to know. But most people will probably do a little bit of a mix. So as long as it adds up to a total of 8, that's fine for this first KWLQ. The other thing I want to communicate to you is that you must be specific, okay? So let's talk about what I mean by that. And I'm going to do that by showing you some examples where the statements are specific and when they're not specific. So starting with this first one, if you know the definition of a vocabulary word, so you want to put, oh, I know this word, I want to put that in the know column of my KWLQ, make sure you define it. For example, if you're like, oh, I know what the definitions of atoms are, then you're going to define it. Atoms are the building blocks of matter. Okay. Now, if you just write down atoms, that's not complete. Like I don't know what you're telling me if you just write down the word atoms. So if you know the definition of a word, include the definition in order to get credit for that. If you know what something is, describe it as well. So let's say, for example, you know what something is, but you're not really sure how to define it, but you kind of like know about it. You make sure you actually put the description. So if you know, like, for example, I know all matter is made of atoms, then that's fine. You're telling me something about what you know, specifically what you know. But if you write, I know atoms, that is not fine because I don't know what you know about atoms. So again, be specific. And what about in the case if you're writing something that you want to know? So if you're writing something that you want to know or you're wondering about, make sure that it's clear. So an example of that would be if you were saying, I wonder what the difference is between atoms and matter. All right. So specifically, I know that you're questioning how to distinguish between atoms or matter. If you put atoms question mark, matter question mark, that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know if you mean you don't know the definition of them or what. So make sure again that everything is clear and specific. Okay, and then final thing I want to tell you is that even though I provided these examples here, you cannot use these examples in your you can use your knowledge in self-generated questions and wonderings. You cannot use these specific examples. All right, so if you have any questions about the KWLQ, please shoot me a message in Schoology, or you can email me if you prefer, or you can ask during the support time or in class. Now, remember, you're just filling out the K and the W columns of your KWL, which you can find in your Schoology folder. Have a quality day, folks.